Good evening, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, from whichever part or whichever place you are watching from. This is Prime Hour Show. I'm Matthew Wasonga, your host for this show. And I'm not alone, I'm with my brother, my friend, my co-host,
Evans Osapiri.
Evans, now today, there is something that many people have been talking about concerning the government, Kenyan government and the US government, the Ebola deal. This has really sparked a lot of debate across the country, and we've even seen a demonstration in Laikipia County, those who are opposing the Ebola deal.
Government.
The Ebola deal, actually. One thing many people are asking ourselves, why Kenya? Why do we have to set up an Ebola quarantine center for the US citizen? Okay? If at all there is the US government suspect that maybe some of their citizens might contacted the Ebola disease, why not set up the quarantine center in US or in countries like Congo that has already experienced the Ebola disease? Why here in Kenya? You know, or is there something that the government is not telling us? Okay, that is something that we will want to share with Kenyans and try to know that what are some of the things we need to know concerning the Ebola deal. Is it something that will benefit Kenyans, or is it something that will benefit some few?
Automatically, you need to know that anything that is being done by the government of Kenya, it's for the benefit of the common mwananchi. Because the issue here is this is a serious disease that Kenyans are trying to address.
Yes.
But now, in quotes, some top figures are making it political. We should never politicize such a serious matter. You remember during COVID-19?
Yes.
Some politicians came in making it politics. We had so many politicians dying.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah, people died.
And Tanzania is so regrettable. Away.
Yeah, and it was so regrettable.
I would advise that people should not concentrate so much on the issue of politicizing this matter.
Okay.
Kenya is a country where we are. Until that disease hits at your doorstep, that's when you can realize where Nikubaya.
Yes.
Nimbaya.
Okay. And please, whoever, if you're watching this for the very first time, please do consider subscribing, like, share to this YouTube channel so that at least and turn on the notification bell, because we'll be bringing you such kind of topics at least Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on different topics.
Just in case they don't know what the kind of show we are doing and the kind of TV that they are watching.
Okay.
Our TV is called Prime Hour TV.
It's on all YouTube. Our social media channels.
It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook.
And all our social media handles, Facebook, TikTok.
Feel free to
whichever
share.
You can just share. Now, back to the topic. Where many people are asking questions. If this thing is actually a threat, we know Ebola is no joke.
Serious.
Ebola is more serious than COVID-19. But why must we construct a quarantine center for US citizens?
And
Mark, you know that in Kenya, the government did say that they've actually tested 22 people and none have been confirmed positive of the Ebola virus. That notwithstanding, we've had cases in our neighboring country, Uganda. Why can't we construct an Ebola quarantine center for Kenyans first before we think of our citizens? Why can't we think of Kenyans first before we think of US? Okay?
I get the point.
Why must we protect citizens before we protect Kenyans?
People are politicizing this matter.
No, where is the politics in all this thing?
People are politicizing the matter because it's not about the American government or American citizens.
Yes.
President William Ruto was in Oje the other day, and I heard him say,
yes,
this issue of Ebola, us as a country coming up with a quarantine center in Laikipia airbase, is not all about treating the Americans. If a Kenyan today got sick, God forbid, we don't pray that any Kenyan gets affected with this disease.
Yes.
But just in case a Kenyan is affected with this disease, he or she will also be what? Treated in the airbase. So politicians have made it look like a political tool. They're using it as a campaign tool. Try to ask Kenyans that, you know what, you should run away from that. Don't allow this thing to be set up in your country. Don't allow this thing to be in your county. You see, I'm concerned. This is my concern. What if this disease, because we are aware it is in Uganda?
Yes, there are some confirmed.
Remember, there is no lockdown.
Yeah.
The truck drivers keep transacting goods from Uganda to
Kenya. Yes.
From Kenya to Uganda.
Okay.
And the disease as we are talking, it's already in Uganda. So assuming we don't set up such a quarantine center, and the disease hits our country, we don't know how Uganda is prepared. We should now focus on, we as a country, Kenya, how much are we prepared? Because Uganda is a nation on its own.
Yes.
So I think the president is doing the right thing, even though I don't know the kind of agreement that is there between the Kenyan government and the US government. But I tend to believe that the president is doing the right thing because precaution. So the government of Kenya is trying to come up with the precaution measures so that just in case the disease hits the country, it should find us prepared.
Now, this is where I have a question, and maybe you will try to enlighten me on this.
Yes.
You say that the government are doing this for the benefit of Kenyans. Okay?
Yes.
Where is this thing being constructed?
It's in Laikipia.
In Laikipia airbase. Airbase, or rather barracks or the airbase, are protected areas. Okay?
Yes.
This is not somewhere where any civilians can walk in and out as they pleases.
Good.
Okay? These are protected areas. Let's not forget that. Okay? If at all the idea was to protect Kenyans, why not use our already established health facilities?
You have
we have health facilities across the 47 counties. Okay? Yesterday, the government did say that they've already mapped around 12 counties that are at high risk. One of them being Busia. Okay? Why couldn't they give priorities to those counties that have been mapped that are at high risk, like Busia, and construct a quarantine center, let's say in Busia County Referral Hospital? Okay? Why Laikipia Airbase? Nanyuki Airbase? Why? Okay? Because that is where many people, even those who might not, that is where the government is giving even opportunity for the opposition figures to bring politics into this thing. And by the end of the day, the victim in all this thing doing will be the Kenyan citizen. Okay?
Imagine.
Yes. So, the politicians and the leaders should not gamble with the lives of Kenyans.
True.
If the Kenya Kwanza government has got good intention with this, okay, they could have considered as setting up these quarantine centers in already established.
We don't need to set them
facilities.
in the already established facilities. The reason is this, my brother. No, Matthew, as we speak, we need to know that we need to understand one thing.
Yes.
These are diseases that doesn't need to be set up in a place that is congested, in a place where there are so many people. It will infect a lot. So that's why I think that the government decided to go to Laikipia, where people cannot get in at any given moment. You can only come through when you are maybe taken there for treatment. Otherwise, no Kenyan is allowed to cross to that region.
And up to this time, do we even really know the capacity of the facility being constructed at the
We now need to ask the ministry
at the airbase?
We now need to ask the Ministry of Health to come out clear and tell Kenyans how prepared are we, because we are not talking about politics.
I don't think
we are addressing a very serious issue, my brother.
Because that is why the Kenyan's government has got so many questions and answers, and even we Kenyans, we have the same question.
True.
During the the COVID-19, we see the collaboration between the county government and the national government. They did even expand the bed capacity in most of the county hospitals to accommodate the corona victims. Okay? They did even construct quarantine centers across different counties. Okay? So that whenever there is a victim in any of the counties, the 47 counties, they are already an established quarantine center. Okay? Why can't the government do the same as even they prepare? Because the COVID caught us unaware.
Yes.
Okay? We were not prepared for the COVID-19,
but
and it came as unaware, and we have to come up with a short-term and middle-term measures.
We don't need a short-term, we need a long-term.
During the COVID, we need to come up with the short-term measures to ensure that this thing does not spread and it is controllable.
Sure.
Now, the Ebola disease might not caught us unaware, just like COVID. But now, is setting up a quarantine center in Nanyuki Airbase the only preventive measures the government can take? What about counties like Busia? What is the government doing in our borders?
Well, I think that's a good question that should be addressed to it's a good question,
yes,
but it should be addressed to the Ministry of Health.
Remember, when COVID was reported here in Rongai, The first case of COVID being detected in Rongai was of an individual who had traveled outside the country. What is the government doing, even those who are traveling in Kenya from countries like Congo or Uganda through our airports like JKIA and Wilson airports? Okay? What of our borders, like the Busia border? Or those bordering our neighboring countries like Namanga, Sirare? How and the government come and tell us, okay, the only thing we are doing is we are setting up a quarantine center in a new care base. Bro, hapa
kuna mchezo?
Tunachezewa bwana.
Kuna game?
Hapa kuna game. Guys, hebu mniambie, hata nyinyi mniambie. Let us reason this bwana. Hebu tufikirie.
So what you feel there's a game going on?
Hapana.
So Kenyans you are watching.
No, hebu mniambie hapo kwa
tuliza wa Kenya. Wakenya wanawatch hiki.
Hebu mniambie.
Do
you really think that this Ebola quarantine center, is it for Kenyans? Ama
nimesikia story nyingine
kuna kitu
over the same ati ikiendelea hata story ya 27 inaweza kosekana.
Yes, because now
story ya 27 inaweza kosekana.
Yes.
Mimi nimesikia story.
What if there is some hidden agenda?
Nimesikia story.
Because if it's true that the Ebola is here with us, there is no any way we will go into election and the Ebola is already here with us. We will need to quarantine and do anything. Now, just to wrap it up, yes. I want us to take at least 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, just to wrap it up. This is what my final submission would be. Okay?
Yes.
If the Kenyan government really cared about Kenya,
yes,
let us not focus mostly on the air base.
Very true.
The government will now focus on our borders and ensure that in case those counties that have been marked to be at high risk of the COVID infection, let them set up a quarantine or an high-level preparedness on those counties using our already established health facilities. Number 2, let them tighten our borders to ensure that whoever is coming and going out of Kenyans is really screened, not lockdown necessarily, but there is proper screening at the borders, so that people don't just come in and out of Kenya as they please. Yeah, that would be my final submission. I don't know what you...
So, my final submissions will be that, one, I want to ask Kenyans that the United Opposition or whichever those people who are, whichever the name they call themselves, let us not politicize this matter. This is a very serious, deadly disease. Ebola is not a disease that we can joke about around with. Yes. So I'll ask the United Opposition, please, until it knocks at your door, you may not feel the pinch. So I want to urge you, stop politicizing the matter. Let us urge the government to do the right thing. And also to the government of Kenya. Yes. I will call upon the government of Kenya, led by the CS for Health, please Aden Duale, Waziri, jaribu kufanya vitu yenye inahitajika. Isikuwe ni mchezo ya town. You don't gamble with the lives of Kenyans. Don't gamble with the lives of Kenyans. Tumezoea isikuwe mchezo ya town. Prove them wrong, Bwana CS Aden Duale. Then I will ask that our truck drivers, as you make your ways en route to Kenya and Uganda, please take precaution. Ebola iko real, inawase na ni mbaya. Ebola si mchezo. So leo Wednesday, yes, tumechekiana leo, tumepiga hisho. Ukitaka kufanya biashara yako advertisement, wewe leta biashara tuchape, tu advertise, utapata customer unataka. Yeah. Kama uko na business idea unataka kushare na Wakenya, uko sawa, uko nayo uko true, kama sisi tutakupatia live show, uchape show yako. We'll sit down with you. Kama unataka kuchapa interview safi, wewe kama tukuchape interview. You are a leader out there, you want to market yourself, you want to do any kind of business, please come, we shall do everything for you. And just to remind Kenyans that we'll be doing this every Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays from 9:30 p.m. On Mondays we'll be talking about around the clock, generally what is happening around us, both from politics, business, anything. On Wednesday we'll be having our Prime Hour show, just like today. On Prime Hour TV. Yes, on Fridays we'll be having the state of Kenyan politics. Now that is where we'll be talking about the politics of the day. So if you know you are an MC, aspiring MC, MP, governors, and you want to feature in this show, please you can say we can feature you in our source. And don't forget to subscribe, like and share. See you on Friday. Let's do this again.